Hi everybody, Manga Mike here, and welcome to another one of my videos. In this video, we are going to be talking about how to do a manga eye. So, I did cheat a little bit. I already kind of have the eye shape that we're going to work on, but I'm going to talk a little bit before that. And also, I do want to say I am a little sick, so I'm sorry if my voice kind of sounds off, but I did want to get a video out for everybody. So the first thing is we can do a manga eye in any shape that you want to. You can do a eye that's like circle shaped, right? And it can look something like this. You can do an eye that is rhombus shaped, and it can look something like that. And obviously you would just rough out the edges. Or round out, sorry, you round out the edges. And then you can do an eye that is triangle based, like in Dragon Ball Z. Ooh, it's a little too, well, you get the picture. You can even do really a, very circle based eye where it's like, it's like this. This one's more oval based, but you get the picture. You can do all of these eyes in any shape that you want. It's just how you shade and how you execute that shape, right? So let's get rid of this layer. And the shape that I chose for this video is the shape that I use in my own manga. So this top line right here, and this line right in here, and in this iris right here, right? These are the areas that are going to get the heaviest lines as far as your line art goes. So what I mean by that is you're going to darken up these areas, and these lines are going to be the thickest, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and probably throw this into time lapse depending on how long it's going to take me, and I'm going to darken up this this eye on these lines, and we're going to come back and talk about the next step, okay? Alrighty, we are back. Sorry about the delay. So, what we're going to talk about now is the shading piece. So, when you're shading, it goes from, just like you did the line work right here, it's going to go from dark to light. Okay? And that's how you're going to do, so this part of the eye, all of that, even the white is going to be shaded, and we're going to work on that together, okay? So the first things first, well, actually, before we get into the shading, I do also want to say eyes are reflective in nature. So what that means is eyes have this tendency to produce a glare. So I'm going to actually do the glare kind of like this. It's too much. For this video, I'll just keep it like that. So eyes have the tendency to have these spots on them that are very, very reflective of the light. So you're going to get kind of this open look. I personally like to go ahead and erase back the line to make it kind of pop out more and show more to the viewer. You don't have to do that, but that's what I personally like to do. You can also, I could have also gone back through with the soft eraser and kind of erase that back a little bit, but I decided not to for this video. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and pick a color. So I'm going to do blue for this video. Now what you want to do is if you want this color blue for the eye, right? You don't want to start off with that color. If you're using Copic markers or any kind of, I think this really applies to any type of coloring that you do. What you want to do is you want to start off with the lightest color first that you're going to do. And then you go from that color to a mid-tone color. And then from the mid-tone color to your, sorry, I just hit the mic. Then you go from your mid-tone to your darkest color, right? And I'm pretty sure that applies to almost all forms of coloring, but I could be wrong. I don't know. So I'm just going to go ahead and fill this in. Ooh, I keep doing that. There it goes. So I'm going to go ahead and try that again and just fill it in, right? Look, I made the mistake I just said, so that's too dark. So now I go in light and I fill it in. Right, that's a really obnoxious light blue color, and I get that, but that's not the majority of the eye is going to be the darker color. So we're going to go back through now, and what you do is you go ahead and you make certain parts of the eye darker. Okay. And I personally like to leave like kind of this ovalish shape at the bottom. That might be a little bit too much of the darker color. Let's go back through and lighten it up again. Alrighty. I think that's pretty good. So you go back through and you darken it up, and if you're using traditional stuff, so if you're working on this on like with a Copic marker, what you would then do is after you go back through with your midtone, then you would go back again with your really light color, the first one that you started with, and you would go ahead and blend through. Okay. And what I mean by that is you'd go back over everything and it would help it blend together. I'm still not too familiar with the blending on this yet. So what I'm going to let's try the soothing watercolor. I don't know. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to go ahead and blend this part a little bit. I like that. Let's try it the opposite way. Let's go from here down. Nah. So I'm just gonna, I know that this is an awful method, but I'm gonna just go ahead and use this regular old blend tool and just kind of work on that line just a little bit. Maybe not. What does the blur tool do? I actually like the blur tool better than the blend tool. Okay, so we have that, and now what we're going to do is we're going to add the dark color, right? So for this one, don't be scared to do really dark, because the more contrast you have, the more it's going to pop. So there you go, right there. I like that. And then I'm going to go back through again and just blur it a little bit. Alright. And that's what we have for that. I'm pretty happy with that. I think that looks good. So now what we're going to do is to finish this eye off, we're going to go to white. And this is a detail that I feel like a lot of people miss, and it can really help your image pop. So I'm going to go to this light color right here, and I'm going to go ahead and shade right in there. Alright, And to me, I don't know if everybody's going to feel this way about it, but to me, what that does is, sorry, I'm trying to get this one little artifact. Good enough. So to me, what that did is it added even more dimension to this eye. It made it look even more realistic, and I'm really happy with the way that came out. So, you know, I think that looks much better than if you were to just let it be, right? Here, I'm going to see if I can go back through and let's add a new layer. And I'm going to try this with the pen. Oh yeah, it's a much cleaner line. I should have did that to begin with. Sorry guys. So let's go in with the pen and quickly do this. That looks just much better than the mechanical pencil. So I'm going to probably just go ahead and do that in time lapse, that piece right there, and we'll get back to it. Alrighty, so we're back now. And this ends up being the final product. And again, it's not the perfect eye, but it is, it's a good start, right? And I feel that, and I feel that this eye is, you know, it has the proper detail with it. It has the shading that's at least semi-correct, and you know, it's not as hard as it looks too, which is nice. So yeah, that's my video tutorial on how to do a manga style eye and how to color it. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please feel free to go down below. And other than that, I'm Manga Mike, and I'm out.